This is Dr. Rahman from Computer Science and Information System Department. So I'm the current chair of the department. At the same time, I'm also doing the coordinator, working as the coordinator for the graduate program, Masters in Computer Science and Information Systems. So it's been my third year as the chair, and I'm also the founding program coordinator for the Masters program. So I'll be happy to, work with all the incoming graduate students and also the existing students. Yeah, so that's pretty much it about me. So if you have any, you can start the question if you want.
Awesome, thank you. So the first question is, how will classes be taught?
Okay, so it depends actually. Some classes are fully online. There are a few classes which are face-to-face, especially the computer science track concentrated courses which are fully face-to-face. And there are a few classes which are hybrid. So it is not like our program is fully, online or fully face-to-face. It's kind of a mixture between face-to-face, hybrid, and online. So if I know some students prefers the online classes over the others, especially the students who are working full-time in an industry or some other places. So we have like 8 courses which are fully online or hybrid that you can take, the students can take for the degree. And remember, since we have 30 credit hours program, it means students need to take 10 courses. So out of 10 courses, students can take as many as 8 courses as online or hybrid. So which means at least 2 of those classes to be taken face-to-face. Now, all the classes we teach for face-to-face and also the online, be it synchronous or asynchronous, are evening. So we try to keep that in mind that some students, they are working outside as a full-time. So that works for everybody quite well.
Awesome, no, that's great. And then for assignments for students, for online classes, like where can they find them? Or if they're in-person classes, kind of where can they look to find those assignments?
Mm-hmm. So for finding the assignments, we heavily use the Canvas, the learning platform Canvas. For face-to-face, for hybrid, for online, doesn't matter. I mean, for whichever way we teach, I know all the faculties, the instructors, they're heavily using the platform Canvas. So you should have an account as a student. You should have an account to the Canvas by the time you enroll for the courses. So just keep looking into the Canvas course pages. The assignments will be there and the deadlines will be highlighted. I know the Canvas has a feature to give you notification if the deadline is approaching. So you should be on track as long as you keep your eyes on the Canvas for the assignments.
Awesome, that's great. It's all it's housed together, so it's easy to access.
Mm-hmm.
How many credits do you recommend a student take each semester?
Okay, so that depends. For full-time international students, which means international students cannot be part-time. I mean, they have to be full-time. So I think there is a requirement of taking 9 credit hours per semester for international students. For others, like the local students or US citizens, there's no such binding or minimum number of credits that you should take. So you can, take this program as a part-time and take the classes like one course as low as one course per semester, which is 3 credit usually. It still works, but I would not suggest to take anything over 9 credit hour, even if you are a local student or the US citizen. Taking over 9 credits will be challenging unless you have really have some time, constraint, or you want to finish it as early as possible. We do not suggest to take more than 9 credits. So 9 credits is kind of the maximum suggested limit. And that is the only, the number of credits the international students must take. So they don't have any option.
Awesome. When a student is preparing to sign up for classes each semester, how do they know what classes to take?
So usually we offer 4 classes in fall, 3 in winter, and 1 in summer. So these classes are offered by our department, which means the computer science and information systems. But there are other courses which are offered by different other departments, like accounting, we have health science, we have leadership, technologies, and there are a few other more. For example, the writing department also offer one course for our program. So as a student, as a full-time student, if you are fully admitted to our program, then you can pick any course which are in our catalog. Now, if you want to look at our catalog, you just visit the sbsu.edu/mscsis. Then you click on the, let me see the exact link. Okay. Just give me a moment. Yeah, if you go to the sbsu.edu/mscsis, then if you click on the curriculum button, then it will show you the list of courses. So technically, any of those courses are offered for a particular semester, say fall 20. So you can register for it if you are a fully admitted student. If you are not a fully admitted student, suppose you get a provisional admission, which means in another term we call it fast track students. Most likely you're coming from a different background, not necessarily the computer science or related things. In that case, in your admission letter, we mentioned some prerequisite courses, undergrad prerequisite courses, such as computer programming 1, which is CS 116, computer programming 2. There are data communication and other courses. So depends, I mean, depending on your previous background, there are some sort of list of courses that has to be taken before you start taking any of those graduate level courses. Now, for some international students, there is a restriction. I mean, there is a requirement that student has to take 9 credit hours each semester to keep running the F1 student status. Now that is something a little challenging, which means you definitely want to take the, which means I'm assuming the is got the provisional admission, and at the same time it's an international student. So in that case, you definitely want to register for the undergrad prerequisite course, say programming 1 or programming 2, something like that. And at the same time, to maintain the the F1 student status, you have to find, say, a couple of other courses to make it 9 credit hour. So now to make it my 9 credit hour, as I said, technically you cannot take any graduate level course before completing all those prerequisite undergrad course. But in this case, we probably, you should contact me so that I can find you some courses that doesn't necessarily require those prerequisite courses, but still that can be counted for the master's degree, which and most of those courses are offered by the other departments, not by our computer science department. For example, we have a leadership course, we have some accounting 600 graduate level course. So you can always take it, even you got the provisional admission. So, but I would suggest that student in that case, when it is a provisional admission, and especially for international students, you better contact me, and I'll be happy to give you some suggestion for the courses.
Awesome, that's great. That's good to hear. When looking at your program, what do you think is the most difficult aspect for students?
Overall, in general, the computer science or the computer information system course contents are little comprehensive. Wherever you go, whichever program, whichever school you go, if it is related to computer science, you must have some sort of theories, some algorithms, some mathematics, everything is involved. Now, there are some cutting edge technologies that we will discuss in some of the courses. There will be some real hands-on programming that could be challenging for some of the students, especially for those students who doesn't necessarily have the prior programming background. But still you can start from scratch here, but it will be not so trivial task to get used to with the programming and other computer science technologies, algorithms, theories, and other stuff. So that I would say it's not specific to our program. It is the nature of the computer science or computer information system related courses that some of those topics will be really theoretical. some theorems or mathematics proofs, algorithms. So something sometimes could be challenging, but I would say, I mean, they're definitely challenging, but they're at the same interesting as well.
Awesome, that's great. Who would you identify as a resource for students, you know, yourself or other faculty in the program that students can chat with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for any academic advising, course scheduling, prerequisite issues, student can directly contact me. I will be the contact person for advising for any course or course planning, graduation plan, or other stuff. Now there are some options for doing research as well. Say we have the option for thesis track, 6 credit, 3+3. So if you are interested in any research, we have faculties who are very active in research areas in their respective fields. In that, I mean, suggest the students to directly contact with the respective professors or the professors who are working in a particular area that the student is also interested to work in. So for any specific course related questions, I think students can directly contact to the respective professors. And I would be also happy for any general queries and questions.
Awesome, great. What strengths would you say that you and other faculty members possess within the program to kind of help students reach their full potential?
Okay, so I would mention that all our full-time faculty members hold a terminal degree, which is a PhD in their respective fields, which means they are very knowledgeable in their respective areas. I know everybody is very friendly and willing to help the students. So, and I mean, I would say students can stop by anytime, even though we have the COVID situation and everything. But I would say if the students wants to knock over the email or if during the office hour, they should get immediate response. I mean, they're very cooperative, and students can expect help and response in a timely manner. I mean, we are ready to guide the students for their future career and even for higher studies as well. Now we have some areas of expertise. Definitely, each department in different schools has different areas where their strengths are. If you ask me what our strengths are in terms of computer, those areas, terminologies, I would say cyber security, computer networks, programming as a whole. Our, I mean, faculties are top-notch programmers, and our students are also you know both undergrad and the graduate students are very good programmers. I mean, they get a quick, get a good learning programming. I mean, the techniques and everything covered in our courses, theoretical computer science, so everything. I mean, these are our major areas of strength.
Awesome. That's great, especially right now with everything online. I'm sure that it's very helpful to start learning that. Yeah. What do you, so if students want to, after they've, or as they're in the program and they're successful, do you recommend continuing on for a PhD or any continued education?
So that depends on personal preference, definitely. If I were a student, I would definitely try for a PhD, but not everybody will be going into that track. So our program is designed in such a way, we have a good balance between theories and also the hands-on stuff or the cutting edge technologies or tools that are being used in the industries. So it's a good balance. So which means if you have a plan as a student to go to the PhD school, move to even bigger place to continue for a PhD program, you should have a good foundation here after completing the master's program, like completing all those theoretical courses. You should feel comfortable when you go for PhD. If you prefer to go for industry, okay, so we have all those, as I mentioned already, the latest technologies such as big data analytics, cloud computing, high performance computing. So all those things are covered, which is now the buzzword in the industry. So definitely, if any student comes to my door and asks for guidance for going for a PhD program, I will personally definitely will be very happy and willing to help. I know all of the faculties in our department will be willing to help you if you go for the PhD program. And some of our students, definitely not everybody, but we already have few students who are going for the PhD programs, and we are helping them with the recommendation letters and everything.
Great, that's great. And then one of the last questions that came up is, what employment opportunities do you see most people following after graduation or even while students are studying?
Okay, so it also depends. I mean, if the student has prior work experience in computer science or information skills, programming, network administration, and some other related areas, then they could go for the senior positions such as senior software developer, software architect, data scientist, system admin, project manager, etc. For students who are coming from a different background, say business, engineering, physical science, or education, or even health science. So in that case, this master's program will provide them the foundation to start from the scratch as a web developer or app developer, programmer, software engineer, network admin, etc. So it depends. I mean, the level of your prior education and experience, it depends. I mean, but definitely we would expect if somebody has the prior experience in computer science areas, they will look for the next step, next level. Now, the students who are already enrolled, what are the job opportunities for them? There are companies around Saginaw. So there are some small and medium IT companies, even in Saginaw or the nearby Bay City. There are companies in definitely Detroit, which is on our 30 minutes drive probably. So we have quite a bit industries around us. So they sometimes tend to come to us and ask for students for internship. So internship is an option. So we time to time hear from our industry partners looking for graduate students for internship. So if you stay on the track, I mean, keep your courses and everything going smooth. You learn the materials, which means the programming is our basic tool. You should be able to find an internship job somewhere nearby. There are also some positions that could be available online. Some of those development positions you can work from home. So options are there. Now, if you work for research as a student, we don't have, the regular assistantship in the form of teaching assistant or research assistant yet, but some of our faculties, sometimes they manage some, the research funds from outside, from internal source or external source. So you want to check with the faculty members if they have some sort of funds for doing research, and that could also help you as a student for doing the thesis. So which means you do the thesis, which will act definitely as a credit towards your degree. And at the same time, you can get some sort of payment. It's not going to be huge probably, but still some sort of payment can be made for working as a student research assistant kind of thing. But that is, not always, or availability is, it depends on the availability, and this may not cover every student.
Awesome, great. And then my last question is just, what's the best way as the program coordinator for students to contact you?
So if it were a regular semester, when we have the face-to-face class, face-to-face office and everything, I would definitely recommend to come to my office during my office hours. But in this time of COVID, we probably will be moving to online office hours this coming fall at least. So which means in order to reach me or any other faculty within the department, I would suggest to email. Okay, so email would be the best way to communicate with us. And I usually check my emails several times during the day. So as I said, the other faculties also do the same. So you should get a prompt reply if you email us. And if you need any one-to-one session for further discussion, we'll be happy to set up a Teams meeting or Zoom meeting. We can always do that. So in this particular situation for this COVID, I would say email will be the best way. Now, if you want to email me, my email address is krahman. That is K Rahman. Rahman is my last name. So krahman@sdsu.edu. So feel free to email for any course-related issues or any, for any advising.
Great. Awesome. Thank you.